wants it known that he is protesting the pairing in this match, both men from his stable. He said only because he is a good, righteous man would he allow this match to go on. One fall.
I'm obeying the rules laid out in the contract.
A very unusual tactic, I might say. One fall, 15-minute time limit. From Waxahachie, Texas, Mad Dog Brooks. And in the far corner, Buffalo, New York, Maniac Mark Lewin. Your referee, Bronco Lubitsch.
Tested by Gary Hart because of the way it was set up. Well, it was because they were both knocked out of the ring at the same time. Hey, a couple of great ones coming, by the way. Mil Mascaras, who is an idol of the American heavyweight champion, El Halcon. Mil Mascaras, a legend in his own right, in Mexico, the world. And Mascaras is a great praise for El Halcon, a protege of El Santo. Then also coming up is a very tough customer, Otto von Heller. Our main interest is Mil Mascaras, who is one of the great names, great legends of wrestling. But right now, one fall, 15-minute time, and Lewin and Brooks. Gary Hart coming out, and we'll see how this one goes. Lewin telling Gary to sit down and cool it. It's interesting. Gary, I missed your protest. What was the basis of the protest?
I think it's ridiculous when they expect that two very important stars in my stable have to wrestle each other to honor the contract stipulations. But I have instructed them to wrestle and nothing more. I don't want Lewin using karate. No, not tonight, Mark. Not with Brooks.
I see. Okay. And what about Brooks?
I've instructed him to wrestle. This is a good way for me to get two of my top boys hurt. And what do I make out of it? Nothing.
Well, you went into the Battle Royal. That was part of the deal. And now, Lewin instructed not to use karate. I can't imagine that Lewin can remember all that. Maybe he can. Oh, he didn't remember it. Judo, it's okay. No karate. Just judo. Okay, judo's okay. And Lewin and Brooks. Very hard yelling at him, didn't want anybody hurt. I think Gary's going to have a lot of apologies to make all around. Gary yelling at him to follow the rules. Interesting matchup here, and of course it bothers Gary Hart because these two men who have had, Gary, just a couple of weeks ago we had an interview and these two had a little fisticuffs in there.
I think we should bring out hard feelings that arise in my organization.
That was just a sudden thing, but the tempers are a possibility.
Things like that happen in competition, but let's not dwell on that.
I won't dwell on it. I'll just bring it out. Gary does not like to dwell on what he considers the negative, and I just consider the continuing saga and drama building up to the next step. Mark Lewin does not like the way his head was messed around with there. So these two are kind of trying to follow the rules of Gary Hart, change their general behavior techniques, and now I pick up here Gary Hart yelling at Mark to take the karate away. Mark almost went with a karate chop because his shoulder hurts. Now we'll kind of play this one by ear as Gary gives instructions occasionally. Would you interpret the particular type of animalistic call that Mark Lewin gives there? What can you?
It's the same thing if you would see Randy White hit somebody hard, you let the energy out. If Abdul Karim Sabah would dunk a basketball, he would let some energy out. It's just a way of releasing.
Sounds like yeets. Gary Hart is really having his problems. Now he is in a... Lewin trying to referee, and Gary is really in a particularly peculiar situation where his own men are trying to battle and yet not destroy what goodwill there might be between them or among them, considering the spoilers here. It might be better that one or the other had Lewin says, come here and give me a hand. And Gary says, no, just go right ahead. Really, when you take the karate chops and plays away from Lewin, you've got all sorts of problems, and Lewin says he's hurting my arm. 6 minutes are gone, 6 minutes gone. 9 minutes left. One thing I would have to credit Gary Hart is with integrity in this match. He could have had one of his men just take a spill, you know, just take the count. But Gary trying to maintain the integrity and the dignity of wrestling has instructed them both to fight for a victory. And then, whoop, there's a chop. And now they go on after it. Despite what Gary Hart says, I think this thing's going to open up, and I don't think Gary's going to be able to control it. Gary right here can lose a sizable amount. Over the top rope. Over the top rope. And I don't think Rocco Lewin considers that. And they're battling right down here. Little table here. There goes Gary. On this side and take a look. And it is a wild one right now. Count is on. I think it's up to about 16 or 17. Chairs and everything. That's it. That's it. That's it. It's all over. It's been counted out. Sorry, they're trying to get out of the way of the microphone here. Really, the match is over. All right. The match is over. Both are disqualified. Gary Hart has a great deal to do, much like the United Nations or a peace commission, to try to get everybody back peacefully. He's got a lot to do now just to get up. And here they go. Oh, all sorts of things going on now. Everything has got absolutely crazy. Hart in the middle lost his tie. And this is exactly what Hart did not want. Gary Hart losing his card, and the whole place has gone crazy. Gary Hart was afraid of this, and what he is afraid of is certainly borne out as he is in the middle and getting a lot of trouble himself. You kind of have to feel sorry for him in a way.
Both men counted outside the ring.
His own making and trying to keep this thing straight, and of course with two wild men like that, it is totally impossible. They have had a little hard feeling, as I said, for a week or so. Oh, here comes the bell ringer. And Mark Wood with a bell ringer in his hand. That's a piece of solid steel.